Mr. Granatino, I know we also want to move to vote on,
Yeah.
on with the remote learning in terms of April vacation. And I know you have some numbers from the Marshfield Education Association that you'd like to share before we ask for a motion on that.
Yeah, and I apologize. We weren't when we put the agenda together. We had not gotten all the feedback from the commissioner yet at the end of last week. But there had been some discussion early on about what to do with April vacation. Even when this first started, 4 weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago. But at that time, we weren't really looking into it because prior to this past Friday, if you would try to quote unquote work on April vacation through the remote learning platform, they weren't going to credit that for days to take off at the end of the year. So right now, all the districts were asked to, wouldn't have to go beyond their 185th day. We have 180 days, but you have 5 built in for snowstorms. So our 185th day was what we were shooting at, and that was going to be June 23rd. They weren't going to make districts go up to the end of June, abutting July. But what they did last Friday was change that tune and say that if you did go and run your remote learning through vacation, not on Monday, which is a holiday, but Tuesday through Friday, the 21st through the 24th, you would be able to count that as days of school, and you could reduce the 185 days down to 181, and thus get out as opposed to on June 23rd to be able to have school in for students on June 17th. I think a more important aspect of it, besides that's a bonus, obviously, but we just spent the last 5-6 days putting this program together, and the folks from the middle school to the high school to the elementaries are just getting this running. And if we did this week with a Friday off with Good Friday, and then next week, and then be off for a week, I don't think it's great for the continuity of trying to get it up and running in a seamless fashion. And so this would allow folks to continue to roll through with the work over April vacation. I had the numbers in front of me before, but it was pretty, because I obviously, anytime we're changing the working conditions for the staff, besides the school committee has a chance to change the calendar, but we want to make sure the staff is buying into it as well. And I think it was, if you looked at our educators and support staff, I think it was something like over 400 to 10.
Hello. Okay.
Oh, hi, Sally.
Hi. 314 teachers said yes, 12 no. Support staff 89 said yes, 2 said no.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going away now.
Okay. So they were in agreement with this change, and knowing that it's in the best interest for our students to keep this rolling for 3 to 4 weeks, and then we'll know more, obviously. But I'm assuming by that April vacation week, we will probably have a good idea from the governor and the commissioner if there's going to be any further changes to the end date. Right now, it's May 4th where we are returning, but that could change, and it's out of our control. And I try not to worry about it because I've been telling everybody else to only worry about things that we can control, and we can't control that. So we will make it work one way or the other. I'd love to be back and seeing everyone's smiling faces on May 4th. But I think having this work done over April vacation is good for the students from an academic sense, as well as good for families towards the end of the school year.
Great. Anybody have any questions or comments on that? Or we can accept a motion as well. Anyone?
Everyone's muted.
Yeah. Mr. Greer, I see you unmuted.
So moved.
Okay, so Mr. Greer has moved canceling April vacation and thus moving the end date of the school year up to June 17th. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Ms. Brate. All those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? 5-0-0.
And again, just for clarification, families, that Patriots Day would still be off. There would be no remote learning taking place on that Monday, the 20th, but it would be Tuesday through Friday of that week.